We are live right now on the Payneless Wholesaling podcast, and we have Jordan Lee, the CEO of Beast Real Estate. Guys, this podcast is the Payneless Wholesaling podcast, where we show you that wholesaling does not have to be painful. It can be painless if you do it the painless way. And I bring on expert guests that show us how to make doing real estate painless. So it's not hard, because you can learn from their experience. So we have Jordan Lee. He's going to tell us a little bit about his story so we can learn how to not struggle like what you're going to struggle with if you just try to figure it out on your own. Learn from his experience. What's up, Jordan?
How you doing, Nathan? I'm excited to be on this with you, man. I've seen you everywhere. You're blowing up. It's fun to watch it, your progression.
Appreciate it, man. Would you agree, Jordan? Can real estate be painful? Like if you don't know what you're doing?
Yeah, and that's why I think the first piece of advice that I give to anybody is take a partner on. Like if I was 18 getting into real estate, even 17, like take a partner on for a couple months right before you turn 18. And it's insane the amount of knowledge that you can get from partnering with people like you, me, or people that have been in the industry for 10 plus years.
Is that how you started, brother, with a partner, or did you just go by yourself?
I did it the wrong way. Yeah, I don't by myself, to be honest. Hindsight's always 20/20, right? You look back and like, why didn't I jump in sooner with somebody and go in full time? I don't regret anything, because, I got my start in door-to-door sales and definitely learned a ton there. But the first 5 years of real estate was a grind, just buying and selling real estate on my own. And even the first couple flips didn't have any partners. So
that's impressive, man. You went in all alone. I started with a partner, and just to kind of let you know the importance of starting with a partner or someone that you can work with. Me and you are working together. Like, I don't know anything about multifamily. I mean, a little bit, right? But not that much. And so you're going to help me through that transition, and we're going to crush it, man. It's exciting.
Love it, dude. Yeah. You teach people how to wholesale. I'll stick to commercial real estate. Obviously we'll both pick each other's brains, but it's nice to have a partner and be specialized, because, somebody might be really good at marketing, but they're not a good closer, or somebody might be really good at analyzing, but they don't want to talk to people, or, so I think creating the right team of people that have different strengths and abilities is so important, especially when you're networking and doing deals together. So you don't want to be with the same person as you.
Yeah, that's actually something I've learned when I started my business with Corey back in the day. Like, love we're not business partners anymore. Shout out to Tom Kroll. He was like, hey, you don't need a business partner. So we were business partners, but we found out that in the beginning when we started together, we wanted to support each other. We wanted to like go and give us emotional support. But after a couple of years, we found out like we're pretty much the same people. We both like to do sales. We both like to talk. So the strengths didn't really complement each other that much, just because we both were good at pretty much the same thing, right? So just like what you said, you got to find people that can complement you. 1 + 1 in a business partnership should not equal 1. Should equal 4, 10, 100. So
100% agree. Everybody on our team has a different personality, or if they have the same personality, maybe they're working in different part of sales, right? Or different part of we have single family and multifamily. Right now we're doing bigger commercial deals, millions and millions of dollars of commercial deals. So we're putting a lot of focus right there. But it's important to have a strong team.
So let's kind of, before we dive into what you do and how you you buy real estate with other people's money, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a 30-minute. I know before we hopped on this, you kind of gave me your little your bio, but give me like 30 seconds. Tell people really the nitty gritty. Who is Jordan? And let us know.
Who's Jordan? Jordan I grew up in a family with 6 siblings, 4 of them brothers, 5 in a row, right? Boy, 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 boy. Very competitive family.
That's wild.
We're closer than any family I really know. Like, we're always together. And even though we bicker and fight, because we're all athletes and we're very competitive, we all love each other. So family comes first in my life. I'm a father to 2 kids, 1 on the way. Some people might not know that, so they're hearing this for the first time.
Whoa! Hold on. Say that again. I gotta hear it again.
My wife's pregnant with another boy, so I have a girl, a boy, and 1 on the way.
Oh, congratulations, man! That is. Are you pumped? I'm sure you're pumped.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So I'm gonna have 2 boys right next to each other and the built-in babysitter, Piper, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
But I think that family comes first in everything. And the only reason I like to do real estate is because it gives you a platform financially to buy back your time and give opportunities to your children, your wife, your friends, your family that maybe might have not have been there, right? Like I have some expensive hobbies, right? Like scuba diving. I'd like to travel. I like
Oh,
to go
shoot.
scuba diving. And
That's cool.
you can't really do that if you don't have money. And then as a kid, I really liked gymnastics and wasn't able to do it just because there's, 7 of us and we had to pick and choose our sports. But I want to give those opportunities to my kids. Say, hey, like it's not a financial burden. So that's the reason I like to make money. I don't covet money. I don't personally like the $2 million cars. Some people like that, and that's them. I
Mm-hmm.
would rather travel. I'd rather do other things.
Experiences.
What's that?
Experiences over, things, I guess, right?
100%. I prefer experiences. And honestly, having a car is a cool experience, I'll be honest, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just not the coolest thing for me. Like I'd rather go hundreds of feet under the water.
Dude, I gotta confess something to you, brother. I'm a wimp. I went like no, this wasn't 5. This was like 8 years ago when I was doing door-to-door sales. We went on a trip, cruise to like Mexico, and no experience doing scuba diving at all. They're just like a bunch of Mexican guys just threw like some scuba tanks on us, and they were like, go. And everyone started going in underwater, and I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I breathe out of my nose all my whole life just because I don't want like people to smell my breath. So I'm always breathing through my nose. So when I go there and this thing's on me, I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't do it. So I wussed out, dude. I wussed out. I didn't go underwater. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, forget this. I don't even feel safe.
You
So
just need the proper training, man. That they threw you probably into a cenote, right?
I don't, what's a cenote? I haven't heard
One
that.
of those sinkholes. Was it like a big,
It was,
like
dude, it
really
was a
clear
straight
one?
ocean, bro. They were like, hey, they were like, go out. And,
On your
yeah,
first dive, they just threw you right into open water?
they threw everyone into open water and they were like, don't come up too fast or you'll like explode. And I was like, yeah, forget that. I ain't
Oh
doing that.
man, yeah, that's sketchy to say the least, but they were trying to make a good tip, right?
Well, yes, I felt like a wuss, dude. I bailed and like a couple of the other guys just went and figured it out. I was like, I ain't exploding today.
But yeah, I mean, come with me, you'll learn. But I like scuba diving.
Hmm.
I like competitiveness. I grew up wrestling from I can't even remember what age.
I wanted to talk
Um,
to you about that because did you know I wrestled too?
I saw that. I don't know the whole background, but I did see that in another podcast.
Oh, bro, I love wrestling, man. I do jujitsu now, which is grappling, but it's submissions. And I did that this morning. I do it every 2 times a week in the morning at 5:30. I love it, dude. It's so fun. You should get into jujitsu if you haven't. It's just like wrestling, but
I did some jujitsu in college and here and there, but it's a time commitment. And
it is, yeah. I got to do
right,
it early in the morning.
yeah, right now I'm having a tough time between family, just lifting weights, and raising capital and traveling. But
You definitely got to pick what your hobbies that as you get deeper into this stuff.
100%. But
I'm
I
curious,
think we're
real
yeah
quick about your wrestling experience. Like, did you wrestle in college? Did you wrestle like how'd you do in high school? I'm just curious because I want to know your experience level.
Yeah. So I was one of those kids that just trained every single day. I think as a freshman in high school, I wasn't the kid that started when I was, 3 years old. I started in 7th grade, like competitively. I
Got
think
it.
I did a little bit with my brothers in 6th grade, but a lot of improvement. By the time I was a senior, I didn't lose a state match. I got disqualified from slamming a kid too hard.
Oh, in
But
state you got disqualified in state?
I was up 8-1 and slammed a kid, and not purposely,
Of
it was
course, of course.
ball and chain, and you have to hit your knee before his shoulder hits, and accidentally dislocated the kid's shoulder, and
You ripped his arm off, huh?
not on purpose,
Of
but
course, I'm just messing with you. The ball and chain was like my go-to, bro. I love the ball and chain.
yeah. So
So you were trying to like
I,
stack them. You were like trying to stack them and yeah, I got you.
So no, I did really well my senior year. I got better every year. My senior year, I had the state takedown record. I was really into competitive weightlifting, so I held what was called the exponent record for weightlifting, which is weightlifting times your body weight. So I was lifting over 1,000 pounds between squat, power clean, and bench, and I was weighing. I weighed in for that competition at 133 pounds.
You were a tank,
I
bro.
wrestled 135. So
I wrestled 135, dude.
yeah, so we're around the same weight in high school. I'm 5'7", and it was a great weight class for me, and loved wrestling.
Did you have to cut hard?
No. I did way more cardio in high school. Right now, it's hard to find time to do cardio because I have a bum knee. I'm working out with a physical therapist on rehabbing my knee right now, so
yeah,
it's just tough. But
placed in state, I'm assuming, right? If you were like picking up 1,000 pounds and stuff.
Yeah, I did. So I placed third in the state because I got disqualified against the number one guy, and then I placed seventh in the national tournament.
Oh my gosh! So you're an All-American?
I don't even know, but probably. I didn't wrestle in college, right?
Oh, that's what I meant. So college is you place top 8, you're All-American, but you're saying 7th national. So you wrestled national in high school.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So
that's dope, bro.
I did pretty good in high school.
I got third in state, dude. We're like pretty like neck and neck, 135. I got third, you got third. That's wild.
Yeah. So
we should go at it, dude. You probably crush me right now because
it's something that the wrestling thing that was a big thing because I was up 8-1 against the other number one guy and did something I shouldn't have, and you go and cry in a corner, but then went undefeated throughout the rest of the state. That was my very first match. It was.
Dang.
The whole story is actually really cool. I won't go into details, but anybody who knows me knows wrestling was a serious sport. I didn't do it in college because they didn't have it at BYU. And I was a music major at BYU in the beginning. When I got back from my mission, I went straight into business because the kind of music major that they had there, it wasn't my style. It was more classical and this and that. And
what was the instrument you were playing? Was it the sousaphone?
No, I'm a vocalist. I love to sing. If you go on my Facebook, you can see a couple of performances.
Oh, okay, you were singing. I thought you were playing like some drums or the sousaphone or something like that.
No, I love performing more than singing. I just love making people smile. Ever since I was a little kid, 5 years old, I'd go sing in front of Walmart, I'd get on the big stage and just vote, I remember when I was 7 years old, I sang in front of 40,000 people in Reno. What? And for the national anthem for the big Sparks convention, and the microphone cut out. I was like, I don't care. So I just started singing at the top of my lungs. Everybody joined in. There's 40,000 people to sing the national anthem with me. And then the very last line, it kicked back on. I was like, oh, it came back on. It was, all over the newspapers. Got to travel to New York. Got to travel to California and do a ton of I love singing.
You know what I'm envisioning? Because you said you would get in front of Walmart and sing. You know who I'm thinking of? The yodeler kid, the kid that was yodeling. That was you?
That was me, man. I had no shame.
Oh my gosh, that's funny, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I love performing, and I want to do big things. Right now, my goal is to help other people make passive income because I think that helps you follow your dreams. Ever since I've got into real estate, it's nice to wake up on the first of the month and, have a lot of money in your checking account from the rents that are coming in, right? Yeah. And and it gives you time to do things. I'm not saying I feel bad for W-2 income. They've chose that and they're working from 9 to 5. But it's nice. Like yesterday, I had a guy call me and I was able to just go somewhere randomly at 3:00 to meet up with a friend. And then that freedom is definitely what I'm trying to get myself and then also provide for other people. So that's why I raise money.
That's a good mission. That's a good mission. Yeah. So you're really raising money to buy real estate so you can help people achieve freedom.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's exactly it. You got these high income earners. We're working with a couple, we're working with a YouTuber that has over 11 million followers on his YouTube channel.
Who is it? You can't say it.
I don't know. I don't want to say his name, but I'll ask him if I can say it on the next podcast.
Yeah, man, drop him. That's pretty cool, though. He's crushing it. He needs to put his money somewhere, right?
Exactly. He's young, right? He's 24 years old, and he needs to put his money into real estate. So we're helping him with that. We got some CEOs of hospitals that they know how to run a hospital. They might make $1 million a year or more. I don't know how much a CEO of a hospital makes, but they don't know how to make that money work for them. They don't have the time, right?
Yeah, it
That's
takes
my
tons of
job,
time.
is to go out and find the deal, negotiate it, underwrite it. That's my forte. I've been doing it for over a decade now, just underwriting deals and making sure we get good returns for investors. But they can put their money, let's say they have 500 grand sitting in their checking account that's making nothing. They can hand that money over to me. I can go deploy it for them. And then it makes them, $50,000 a year plus in dividends. And then when we sell the property, they get an extra check.
I got a quick question for you. So are you really finding that someone that has $500,000 and can make that kind of income would just put it in a checking account, or are they pretty savvy, like somewhat savy enough to invest it?
No, there's tons of people with over 500. It's a small amount. You'd be surprised. Some of these high income earners, they started a business two years ago, and they have all this money coming in. And they don't even know how to reinvest it into their own business because they're growing so fast. They're making commissions either. I mean, you got these, especially like I've been working with the solar industry a little bit, and because I did solar and I know how lucrative it is. Some of these CEOs, they're getting, $25,000, $30,000 commission checks just off their personal deals. And then they have a sales force that's growing nationwide. They have way more than 500 grand. And then when you sell a company, they might sell equity in the company. One of our buddies is selling 25% equity of his company, which is worth 250 mil. Well, what do you do with 250 million?
Well, you tell me, what do you do with 250 million? That's a lot of dough.
You have to put it into real estate, because the thing is, real estate is one of the asset classes that is best for tax benefits, right? You can defer taxes forever in real estate. You can keep rolling it into other properties through what's called a 1031. So
forever? Just keep going until you die, and then
you never have to pay taxes on it. Nope, never, ever.
Can the kids keep deferring? If you inherit a property that needs to get, like, once someone dies, does it go away, or would the kids have to pay it?
So no, there's a certain amount, right? There's a threshold. I want to say it's like 13.5 million per spouse. It's called step up basis. You can Google it. But let's just say I have a $500,000 duplex, right? I buy it for 500, and then 2 years later I sell it for 700 net, right? Maybe I sell it for 750, and you have all commissions, but I make 200 grand profit off of it, right? If I sell that duplex and take a $200,000 profit check, I have to pay capital gains on that.
What is that?
So 20% of 200 grand.
20%?
I mean, it depends on your tax bracket, but let's just say 20%, right? It's 20% of 200 grand. It's $40,000 in taxes. Do you want to write a $40,000 check for taxes?
Never.
No. So what you can do is you can take that money and put it into a 1031 exchange. You have an intermediary that holds the money for you until you locate another property. I have a guy actually I'm working with right now. He bought a townhome way back when. It's paid off. He just sold it. He netted $495,000 off a townhome.
Okay.
It's crazy to think what townhome's worth nowadays. But he has $495,000 sitting in an intermediary fund with 1031, and he has to deploy that within a certain amount of time, or else he has to pay taxes on that gain.
What's the time, by the way? Just curious.
I mean, I'm not an accountant. I think it's 45 to locate another property and 90 to close or something like that. Honestly, I've never hit the timelines. We always have deals lined up, so it's not a problem.
Okay.
If you Google it, it'll come up at like 45 and then 90. But you locate the property, and then he uses that 495 as a down payment, let's say on a $1.8 million property, right? Now he owns a $1.8 million property, and because he rolled it into a bigger property, he doesn't have to pay any taxes on it. It's called deferred taxes, right? So that deferred tax, let's say he owns that for 8 years, and then sells the $1.8 million property in $500,000. So now he's made 700 grand. He also made the 200 grand. That's $900,000 he's made. Now he has to pay taxes on 900,000. But if he rolls that into another property, let's say he buys a $4 million property now, he can own that $4 million property. And if it's bringing him in, however much a year, 150 a year, who wants to sell that, right? They can just live off the dividends, off the cash flow.
Let me ask you
a quick question. When he dies,
Sorry, let me ask you a quick question for the viewers that might have the same question. when you're buying these, when he's investing his money with you, is he able to avoid the 1031, the taxes? Is that a 1031 exchange, even though he's not like managing it, doing anything like that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's called a tenants in common. Yeah,
Cool.
but the short answer is yes. So we can take investor funds from 1031 and they can roll that into a fund with us. So
Because you just
I'm
made
not
me
going to go
think.
into detail on that, but the answer is yes.
Yeah, you're good. You just
And
made me think of someone. So I just did it. I know one of my family members just sold an eightplex, right? And I think they have a certain amount of equity that they need a place. I'm gonna reach out to him after this. I just thought of him.
yeah, so you can have them roll it into another property. And then what happens is when they die, like my estate goes to a trust. And whoever is the inheritor of the trust, let's say it's my child, or say me and my wife die in a car accident at the same time, and Piper's the inheritor, she actually gets what's called step-up basis. So a certain amount of money is non-taxable that she inherits. So we actually completely defer all taxes into the next life, and then they don't have to pay the taxes. They get an appraisal, they have a new value, and that's what the wealthy do. And it's completely legal, it's ethical, it's how the tax code is written. And if you know how to invest right in real estate, you should have little tax liability.
So I always thought when you were like 70, 80 years old, if you've been 1031 exchanging your whole life, and then finally, I feel like I thought you had to like get at least sell it and then pay the taxes eventually. But you're saying you can do it forever until
Correct.
you die.
Yes.
So you don't have to pay the taxes ever.
No.
But I am curious, but somebody will eventually, right? Like if the kids inherit the property, they're going to have to know. Is it done once you die?
So once you die, let's say I had, $10 million let's say I bought a property for 500, and then over the course of my lifetime, my assets are worth 10 million.
Okay.
Right? That's under the step up basis, right? So when my child inherits the $10 million of real estate, that's her new line for taxes. So, but she inherits it tax free. It's step up basis. They'll do a new appraisal. There's no tax liability on that. But as she makes money, she'll have to pay taxes on it. So if she makes $2 million, she'll pay, if it's worth 12 million, she'll have to pay on the $2 million unless she 1031s it. Now there is caps, right? Like, I think it's, like I said, I think it's 13.5 million per spouse, might be 12. I don't know the exact amount. So, my children definitely have to pay taxes, right? Because our state's going to be well worth a lot more than that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, having a $24 million inheritance, the first 24 million you don't have to pay taxes on, it's pretty amazing.
Let me ask you this. This is a little outside, but what's your opinion on letting your kids inherit all that money eventually? Do you feel like that's good for them? What's your opinion on giving your kids a ton of money eventually?
I mean, I think it depends on the parents. That's a loaded question because you think about some of these parents, there are some parents that do spoil their children. And, you see those funny TV shows where like Harry Potter, right? The kid who gets however many presents and he's like, I wanted more, right?
No, Dudley, he's the worst.
Yeah, Dudley, right? But if you teach your kids right, I know a lot of millionaires, especially in door-to-door sales, where they've had to grind, right? Like I know one guy that I really respect, Todd Santiago, right? He was the vice president of sales at Vivint. Stud, amazing guy, very wealthy. His children, he has a couple children, right? He makes them knock doors. Like he had them knock doors and start where when they turned 18, I was like, oh, these kids are going to be like executives at Vivint. No, like his oldest son went out and knocked doors on a summer sales team and then had to build his own sales organizations. And if you know the kid, he's had to work for everything. But his dad has instilled that work ethic to where he's going to be wealthy no matter what. If his dad doesn't leave him a penny, he'll still be wealthy, right?
I think that's the right way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just depends on the parenting. I'm definitely not going to have my kids be spoiled in any way, shape, or form. If they want money for me to fund them, and let's say, a gymnastics tournament where they have to go to Hawaii and spend 10 grand on this huge competition, I'll fund it, but they better work their butt off to win that tournament because I'm their sponsor.
Yeah, it's an investment.
I'm their sponsor, right? Or if they're looking to start a business, I'm not just going to hand them a $10 million investment check. I'm going to say, hey, you need to learn the ropes. Come shadow me. That's why I think it's so important to have a partner, because a partner is going to be invested into you, because when you make money, they make money.
Right.
I actually believe in partners more than I do mentors.
Dang.
I think
A lot of
a
mentors are
mentor,
partner too. A lot of mentors do
exactly.
that. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of mentorships where people will pay $25,000 for a mentorship, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be on this call, to
Mhm.
be in this room with people. Rather than having somebody pay me 25 grand, I would be more willing to vet them very carefully and say, are you going to work? Go do these homework assignments for me, right? Go do this. And if they show that they're going to do it, I would rather give them, 5% equity in a business that's going to be worth $100 million and say, go hustle with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And they're going to make more in the long run, and they're going to learn side by side with me. So going back in time, like I always tell people this, whatever you want to do, go serve that person.
Yeah. Yeah. For
Go
sure.
work for that. No work. You don't have to work for free. You tell them, and you pay me what you think I'm worth, and you go learn from them and you create them value. They're going to be addicted to you. They're not going to want to ever lose you. And then that's when you can, go off on your own once you know it all. But if they really like you and they're creating value, you're going to stay with them.
Well, Jordan, I feel like we've hit on some awesome topics, and I feel like we got to probably do another podcast, bro. This was good. I mean, I feel like we got a lot to talk about. What do you think?
100%. Yeah, anytime. This is fun. I love giving back. And like I said, I just want to be of service to people, whether it's other people getting into real estate and they're hitting me up on Instagram saying, hey, how do I raise millions of dollars? How do I close multifamily? I could talk to them for hours about it. The people that I'm going to put the most time into are the people that are going to bring value and say, hey, let's go do a deal together. But I also like talking to people that are not in real estate, that just say, I don't want to have anything to do with real estate. I love real estate, but I don't want to be in the grind, but make me money.
Yeah.
And then I got to be like the guy in the Bible, the parable of the talents, right? Where the master gives the people the talent, and two of them go and multiply those talents and are given more talents. Talents were coins, right? And one of them hides it under the floorboard, and he comes back and he says, you slothful servant. And he takes the talent from that one other guy, and that guy's left with nothing. That's my responsibility in life. I feel like I've been given a lot of opportunities to attain knowledge. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I've been given knowledge, because I do want to credit myself, and I've taken the time to learn from other people. You got to have the desire to learn. But once you have that knowledge, you have to go spread it and help other people. Otherwise, the Lord's going to take it from you. Mm. Whether it's in this life or the next, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe that He's given us everything. I know I don't want to get religious on these.
No, I preach it. I'm all about Jesus, man.
Whether you believe in a higher power, or whether you believe in Allah or Buddha or whatever it is.
Look, I got my Jesus statue right there. Do you see it?
I don't. Where is it?
He's that white.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, I don't play.
So
everything I do is for Jesus. I mean, I
believe that everything we've given, everything in this life, our body, our skin, the money that we have, literally everything. Mosiah, you'll know what I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. Everything, we're in debt to the Savior 100% of the time.
Breaking up on me. That's the devil right there trying to take you down. Oh, man.
You there?
Yeah, man, you broke up. That was the devil trying to break you down. Break up the
I know, right? But I feel an obligation to give back. Yeah. So whether I make, $20 million in this life or $2 billion in this life, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, money doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It just matters the effect I'm having on other people. And honestly, first and foremost is my family. And then after that, I still want to help others because I have the capability to.
Well, Jordan, it's been a pleasure having you on here. We're definitely going to have you back. And we're actually going to be doing an event together. What is it, in a week or two, where me and you are going to be talking at lunch?
It's in 9 days, next Saturday, January 13th or 14th. We're going to do it. I believe we're doing it in Orem, right? Mm-hmm. So, Kylan Gornichek's office, Security Home Mortgage. Anybody who wants to come, we're going to have a good lineup. You'll be speaking, obviously. I'll be speaking. We're going to have my accountant is coming. She can talk more about the 1031s. She can talk about setting up S-Corps, different ways that W-2 people can save money as well. It's very powerful to get in those networks.
That is.
I'm excited to do that event. We should have a really good turnout.
Sounds good, man. Well, I'll promote it. We got to wrap up, but we'll have to hop on another one. It's been a pleasure having you on here. If you're in Utah, please make it to that event. Reach out to me, reach out to Jordan. If you want to connect with Jordan, let me know. I'll put you in touch with him and, or, Beast Real Estate. All right.
Yeah. Beast Real Estate on Facebook or Instagram. So.
All right, brother. Well, we'll keep doing this. We'll keep growing this. That's what we're doing this year. Let's blow it up. Later, bro.
All righty, Nathan. Talk to you later, man. Bye.